Here we are again, trying to sort of negotiate our way around this big temple complex. There's some amazing sort of sculptures around the place as well. I said I want to sort of get a bit of a closer look at this big white statue over here, and of course down there for the big temple as well. We don't know if we can go there or not, but anyway, we'll sort of give you a bit of a preview of this video, and we'll cut to the intro. And again, we've got some amazing sort of, well, temple constructions. This is very old style. It's got a plaque over here. I don't know if it's got any English on it. So yeah, there is a plaque. So Buddha is the most important place in 4 institutes, the most holy place of worldwide Buddhists. It is the beginning of Buddhism, where Lord Buddha enlightened. There is another name called Mahapo Temple. Yes, interesting sort of style of architecture. Wait for the light to adjust. Some interesting motifs and murals. I'm guessing what we're seeing here on the wall is actually water damage. I did mention in the Ayutthaya videos last week that these areas up here north of Bangkok, you get some quite heavy flooding. And what I'm seeing here on the wall is definitely reminiscent of flood damage, because it all happens to be at a particular height. So getting an idea of the flood damage height inside there, I don't think you've ever really realised how level and flat the basin, or the main growing basin, is in Thailand. It is a massive delta plain, and when the rains come, this would be all 6 to 7 foot underwater. Yeah, so I remember coming out here in November 2011 when Bangkok had the floods, and there we are in Bangkok with all the pumping stations, and even where we were living then, we had 3 foot of water on the ground. That was quite an experience. Of like I especially actually flew out to Thailand for that 2-week period when the flood damage was, or the floods were at their peak in Thailand, just so I could be with Sonia, help her through the challenges of living in a city that's inundated with floods. I didn't take my video camera then, but I took a whole bunch of still shots, which are up in my library. I'll put a link to those still shots in my Google Cloud, and you can have a look at those below if you want, that is. Well, this is a very impressive white Buddha statue. Again, so a fair distance away, trying to get the whole thing in shot. And there we have the relative height compared to people. Absolutely amazing. And yes, as usual, like if you're not already subscribed to this channel, just click this little link over here. That'll make sure you're subscribed for all the things that we do in our sort of adventures in Thailand. And time to make merit here. And applying the gold leaf as part of a tribute. I start to wonder how many tons of gold would be on these Buddhist statues around Thailand and India. There is sort of a limit, you know. I think one knowledge-based article I sort of said, or I read somewhere a couple of years ago, said if you put all the gold bullion in one place, it's only about the size of an Olympic-sized swimming pool. And you can see all this gold leaf being applied to these statues. It's quite hard to fathom that. In fact, I've never seen so many Buddhist statues in one place. I don't know what the relevance of that is. And I saw this little place on the way in when we were driving in. It's like a little grotto. Thought I'd have a closer look at this. I'm seeing cactuses, or cacti in Thailand is a little bit unusual, I guess. I'm not quite sure what the relevance of this little grotto is, but again, it looks interesting. And yes, we have sort of a little plaque here, Kitchakut Mountain. Kitchakut Mountain, a small park. There are cows, buffaloes, elephants, horses. It is one of the 5 mountains where besiege Ratchakrila city. It is difficult to attack from an enemy. There is Lord Buddha's house on it. Lord Buddha likes this house very much because the weather is good and he walks up and down to please the people every day. Yeah, but anyway. I guess it's a representation. Yeah, from memory, I think Mount Kitchakut is down the southeastern part of Thailand near Rayong, because we went there a couple of years ago. Buddha's footprint is the top of the Mount Kitchakut. Look, I said all these names sound the same to me, but that's what I thought. Well, it was a thought that came to my mind anyway. But again, I'm no expert on this. Do your own research.
ที่เราขับรถเข้ามาวัน
ก็
นี้
เรียนรู้ได้ไงไม่ต้องมองเห็น
ไม่ไปเดินไปเลย
ข้อนี้ต้องวิ่งเข้าไปในนี้นะ
บอก
เนี่ยต้องโลกันไปอีกเลยนะป้าเรียนอะไรป้า
Many Buddha statue, darling. Many statue for Buddha.
นี่รวมอยู่อำเภออะไรแก
เข้าสุพรรณอยู่ดีอ่ะ
มี3 ชุดกัน
3 ชุดไปทางนั้นไง
ทางเดียวกันนะ
ทางเดียวเลยไปสุพรรณอีก Now we leave the city of Hell and
ไปวัดป่าวัด
make our way down to the front here. Now I've said that given the time of day already, everybody's looking forward to lunch. We won't stop at this temple. Maybe we'll come back here and check this out another time.
3 ชุดก็วิ่งเข้าไปทางเดียว
But it really is
ทางเดียวไป
an impressive structure.
ไม่รู้พี่ไม่เคย
I'd love to check that one out
ตรง
inside.
นี้ใช่ไหมเนี่ยสุพรรณเหมือนกันแล้วก็ลงไปแต่ว่าเรียนวัดท่าเรียนอะไรถึงก็วิ่งตรงเข้าตัวสุพรรณเลยใช่ไหมใช่
we've done all that bit, and we're off now, I believe, to another water market. So I'm going to cut this one here. Now I don't know whether this is 1 or 2 videos. I never know until it comes to editing time. It's just one of those things. The edits are always difficult. Trying to keep track of how much video I've taken. Like, you know, if you've been a subscriber for a while, some of my videos can go for an hour long, you know, because, you know, it's relevant. But in this case, I am making a definite effort to try to get my videos down to about the 10-minute mark. So, you know, which is the average, you know, ideal length for a vlog. But it's always a hard job. You don't want to miss out on anything you've taken, anything I've mentioned, you know, so on. But anyway, watching her in the back.
Yes, maybe now I think to go water market, but have near temple very good too. I
Another
need to
temple
take
and
temple,
water market, yeah.
one more temple for special favorite.
Okay, so
For number 1 in Suphanburi temple here.
Okay, so don't forget, we always put the links, the Google Map reference link for all the places we visit. If you check out our Facebook page, there's usually sort of, you know, like a locator and photos on our Facebook pages as well. So, you know, usually find out where we've been. Facebook's the best way to follow us because that's when we're actually at those places. The videos are always delayed, but don't worry about that. Anyway, so we'll cut this one here now, and we'll move on to the next location. Bye for now.